In the heart of Benue, fear once had a name, not a spirit, not a warlord from another country. Villaged whispered his name at night. Drivers avoided lonely roads. But how did an ordinary young man become one of the most feared criminals in Benue? His real name was Tewase Akwaza. He came from the Sankera axis of Benue, an area troubled by poverty, political violence, cult groups, and weak security. At first, many locals say he was just another tough street boy trying to survive. But as insecurity spread across the region, armed gangs began forming and Ghana quickly rose through the ranks. Soon he built his own feared network. People called them Ghana Boys. By 2015 and 2016, stories about Ghana had spread everywhere. Robberies, kidnappings, attacks on villages, deadly clashes with security forces. Some communities allegedly paid money to avoid attacks. To some frightened villagers, Ghana was a monster, but to a few youths in neglected communities, it became a symbol of rebellion against a broken system. That contradiction made him even more dangerous. Some people believed he used charm or spiritual protection. Fear turned him into a legend. As violence spread across Benue, the government sought peace through negotiations. And according to many accounts, Ghana accepted amnesty. Some people believed he was not only forgiving, but also quietly giving connections and responsibilities linked to local security operations. For a moment, it seemed the feared outlaw had changed side, but peace would not last long. Everything changed after the unaliving of a government official. Ghana was reportedly invited for questioning, but instead of appearing before authorities, he disappeared. Then came the accusations. Security agencies declared him wanted once again, and the man who once worked under government protection returned to the forest. Only this time, he was no longer alone. On the run, Ghana allegedly joined forces with other armed groups operating across the region. According to local stories and reports, he later received a major terrorism contract, a violent assignment tied to attacks and instability. But there was a problem. Ghana reportedly demanded for 1 billion naira, not because he planned to keep it all, but because according to rumors, he claimed he needed to settle powerful security connections and sponsors behind the scenes. The gang refused, trust began to collapse, and the alliance slowly turned against itself. Tired of running, hunted from every side, Ghana reportedly reached out to authorities again. This time, he wanted another amnesty deal. In exchange, he promised to surrender and provide critical information about armed networks operating in Benue. The government allegedly agreed. Community leaders, negotiators became involved. A meeting point was arranged. For the first time in years, it looked like the violence might finally end without bloodshed. Community leaders reportedly traveled to pick him up. Witness claimed Ghana surrendered peacefully. No gun battle, no resistance. But on the journey back, everything changed. An armed convoy allegedly intercepted the vehicles. Moments later, Ghana was dead. Authorities later announced that Ghana died during a confrontation with soldiers, but some community leaders strongly denied that version of the event. They claimed there was no shootout, no exchange of fire, that he had already surrendered before the convoy appeared. The conflicting stories fueled outrage, suspicion, and endless debate across Benue. Was it justice? Was it betrayal? Or was Ghana simply a man who knew too much? To this day, the story of Ghana remains one of the most controversial chapters in modern Benue history. But the biggest question remains, was Ghana just simply born evil, or it was created by poverty, violence, and politics?